I'm going to share a waffle recipe. Now you can make it into pancakes if you don't have a waffle maker, using really simple ingredients. And the beauty of this recipe is that you can swap around the ingredients depending on what you have at hand and your dietary requirements. So let's get started. I'm going to start with a small apple. Now if you don't have an apple, you can use bananas. The riper it is, the sweeter the recipe will be. If you want to make it low carb, you can use pumpkin puree, applesauce. So the recipe is really flexible. First, let's chop up the apple. I'm going to use the skin, and depending on how powerful your blender is, you can use the seeds as well. Let's stick it in a blender. To this, we're adding 1 egg. Now let's add our flavorings and our dry ingredients. I'm going to use defatted almond flour because I want to make it low carb, gluten-free and low in calories. And if these are not your requirements, you can use normal flour, oat flour, gluten-free flour, or even cocoa powder instead of the flour. Next is a protein powder. Now I'm using whey isolate, but you can use a vegan protein powder, egg white protein powder, beef protein powder, a dash of salt as a flavor enhancer. Flavoring of choice, I'm using vanilla. A sweetener of choice, I'm using allulose. You can use erythritol, sugar, maple syrup, honey, depending on your requirements. And finally, baking powder. Now if you're making pancakes, this is important to make them extra fluffy. So you can see the mixture coming together. It'll be like a thick paste. Now we have an optional extra. I'm going to use a handful of sugar-free chocolate chips. You can use any kind of dried fruits like raisins, cranberries. If you're making pancakes, you can use blueberries. I'm going to use my handy mini waffle maker so I can make individual waffles. And there you have it, a little bit misshapen. But why I like waffles is when they're fresh, they're quite crunchy. But as I said, it works just as well as a pancake. Makes about 6 waffles, about this size. Okay. And one is often enough for me. I can have it on its own, on the go, or with yogurt or a topping or some fruits. So yeah, try it out and see how it goes. Nice.